because you get on campus again, it's funny because people forget you were a first baseman. You hit bombs. I mean, give credit where credit's due. You hit bombs there for a little bit, and of course, a lefty specialist out of the pen. And I think your first year on campus, 2009, you guys are able to take down Clemson. I remember D'Angelo Mack with the walk off, and you kind of got your feet wet in the series. And then 2010, of course, we'll jump to. But what were your first overall thoughts? Like you said, you really weren't born into an allegiance, so maybe you didn't have this great idea, understanding just how big the rivalry series was. And again, at that point, when you got on campus, I mean, it still is to this day, but I mean, I remember those matchups at that time, and it felt like it was like 1 versus 2 or 3 versus 4 every single year. I mean, the stakes were extremely high. Both programs were doing extremely well. What was your first taste or first impression of the rivalry as an actual player?
Yeah, that was in 2009. This 2009 season, we were still playing the midweek games.
Yeah.
We were still playing 4 midweek games, so we weren't doing the Friday, Saturday, like home and away neutral game yet. So I still remember in 2009, one of my appearances was against Clemson. It was early, it was cold, and it was a night game at Carolina. And I actually got booed by the Carolina fans because of my first appearance against Clemson. I think it was my first, but it was really my first really interaction that I remember with Clemson. And a lot of it had to do with, I came in, they wanted me to get hot super quick. Mm. I've never really been good at that, especially when it's cold. That's really hard to do. Right. I ended up coming in. I came in with apparently men on first and second. I did not realize that there was a man on second, and I walked the guy on first 4 straight pitches, and then I realized that it was bases loaded. Walked the next guy on 4 straight pitches, and I was facing Kyle Parker with 2 outs, and he flied out. Anyway, so obviously 8 balls in a row. Yeah. Carolina fans weren't happy. Went 3-2 to Kyle Parker, and he flied out to like deep left, and I came into the dugout. Coach Tanner was yelling at me. Fans were booing because I think it either tied the game or something happened. And then I went out there and I threw a good inning and got back out. I think got out of it. But that was my first interaction with Carolina Clemson game. And I've always been the type of competitor where if you're against me, like I kind of hate you no matter what. So it didn't make it hard to get involved in that with the Clemson Carolina series. And so it was easy to adopt that attitude.
How things can change. You go from being booed at your home stadium to, the mentality and thoughts of you now,